Life is full of opinions, comments, and unsolicited advice, and if you take everything to heart, you might as well sign up for an emotional roller coaster with no seatbelt. People will always have something to say, whether it's about your hair, your choices, or the way you pronounce quinoa. But here's the secret. What they say is more about them than it is about you. Learning to brush off unnecessary emotional baggage is a skill that will make your life infinitely easier. So let's dive into how you can stop taking things so personally and start living a lighter, happier life. Understand that everyone sees the world differently. One of the biggest reasons people take things personally is because they assume everyone sees the world the same way they do. People are walking around with their own experiences, biases, and weird pet peeves that have absolutely nothing to do with you. Your coworker didn't roll their eyes because they secretly hate you. They probably just remembered they left the stove on at home. When you realize that people's actions are filtered through their own lens, you stop making everything about yourself and start seeing the world as the beautifully chaotic mess it truly is. Recognize that not everything needs a reaction. Sometimes people say dumb things. It's an unfortunate side effect of being human. But just because someone says something annoying or rude doesn't mean you have to react. Imagine if every time someone on the internet made a ridiculous comment, you took it personally. You'd be exhausted. Instead, think of your energy like a bank account. You wouldn't hand out your hard-earned money to every stranger on the street, so why give away your emotional energy to every passing comment? Save your reactions for things that actually matter, like when your pizza delivery is late. Don't assume the worst about people's intentions. Let's be honest, most people aren't actively plotting your emotional downfall. Your friend who didn't text you back isn't secretly holding a grudge. They probably just fell asleep watching Netflix. Your boss who gave you short feedback on your project wasn't trying to crush your soul. They were likely drowning in emails. Assuming that every little thing is a personal attack is like thinking the universe revolves around you, and unless you're the sun, it doesn't. Give people the benefit of the doubt and you'll feel a whole lot lighter. Develop a healthy sense of humor about yourself. If you can't laugh at yourself, you're going to spend a lot of time being offended. Learning to see the humor in your own mistakes and quirks is like wearing emotional armor. Maybe you tripped in public, mispronounced a word in an important meeting, or sent an email to the wrong person. Instead of replaying the embarrassment on a loop, embrace the absurdity of being human. The ability to laugh at yourself disarms negativity and makes you more resilient. Plus, nobody remembers your awkward moment as much as you do, so relax. Set boundaries and stick to them. Just because you're working on not taking things personally doesn't mean you have to be an emotional punching bag. Setting boundaries is about recognizing what's worth your time and what's just noise. If someone in your life constantly criticizes you or makes backhanded comments, you're allowed to shut that down. Protecting your peace is not selfish, it's necessary. Boundaries help you filter out the nonsense so you're only focusing on what truly matters, like whether or not to get extra guac on your burrito. The answer is always yes. Learn to let go and move on. Holding on to every negative comment or criticism is like hoarding emotional junk. If someone made a rude comment about your outfit last week and you're still thinking about it, it's time to declutter your mind. Sometimes people say things and then they move on with their lives, so why are you still carrying it? The ability to let things go is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. Instead of replaying old conversations in your head, replace them with better thoughts. Your brain is like a playlist, and you get to decide whether you're looping a sad song or switching to something upbeat. Build your confidence so words don't shake you. When you're confident in yourself, what other people say doesn't have nearly as much power over you. Think about the most self-assured person you know. They don't crumble at every offhand comment. Confidence comes from knowing who you are and what you stand for. The more you work on self-acceptance and self-love, the less you'll be affected by external noise. Instead of seeking validation from other people, find it in yourself. The more secure you are, the less likely you are to take things personally, because at the end of the day, you know your worth. Remember that life is too short to be offended all the time. At some point, you have to ask yourself, do I really want to spend my life being offended by everything? There will always be misunderstandings, rude comments, and unsolicited opinions. You can either let them ruin your day, or you can decide that your happiness is more important. Choose the latter. Focus on what makes you happy, surround yourself with positive people, and learn to laugh off the nonsense. Life is way too short to be emotionally weighed down by things that won't even matter a year from now. Let it go and enjoy the ride.